Right, this is my monologue. Hi, my name is Devin Roach. I'm a case manager at New Horizons Counseling Center. I've been here for 1 year now. I graduated with my BSW from Brescia University, and this is my client, Jacob. Jacob was referred to me because he has recently gone through a divorce 6 months ago and is now raising his daughter, Amy, as a single father. And Jacob has been showing signs of depression after this divorce and hasn't been getting out of the house much, and has lost his job, possibly due to the recent divorce, and has been not been able to spend as much time with his daughter. After being laid off, Jacob has been saving up money to afford rent for the next couple months, but is worried about some extra expenses, such as daycare for his daughter, when he returns back to work after he finds a job. Jacob was referred to me to help him get through this emotionally difficult time and to deal with the symptoms that he's been developing and to help him find work and manage expenses to be able to provide daycare for his daughter. The New Horizon Center, Counseling Center, provides experienced professionals ready to assist in dealing with a variety of emotional, mental, and behavioral issues such as marriage and family issues, life transitions, depression and anxiety, and addictions, and many other. So I've discussed the issues like pertaining to confidentiality with him, and that there are certain things that I can't keep to myself, which would be things like child abuse, situations of self-harm or harming others, or elder abuse, sexual abuse. These are all things that, as a social worker, I cannot keep to myself, and I cannot keep them confidential for obvious reasons and safety reasons. So, with that being said, let's get started. So, last meeting we talked about your symptoms with depression and like how you've been coping through this divorce, and possibly even setting up with meeting with a therapist. How do you feel about like all this that we've talked about?
Yeah. Last week I said it felt like it's something really good for me to do, something like I really need, especially with Amy. But I haven't really. I put a lot of thought into it, but I haven't really done anything else. I know you recommended a couple therapists last week, but really they like all went in one ear and out the other. So I don't really know like what are the next steps for finding a therapist.
Yeah, so like I can understand how you can get scattered with all that's been going on in your life here recently, but I can definitely help you with getting set up with a therapist and kind of going through the steps of how that would all happen much slower, and get you more comfortable to the idea. I can even like meet with you and your therapist to help you guys get acquainted and make sure that you're comfortable with that as well. Like, and this has all been like while caring for your daughter and coping through this divorce. So I know that all this hasn't been easy for you. So like maybe we'll talk about the getting a therapist later. But so for the time being, would you mind telling me how comfortable or like would you mind telling me how the last encounter with Sarah has went?
Yeah, it was okay. It was a little awkward. I was just dropping Amy off because Sarah has her on some of the weekends. So it was like last Friday, I think, and we had just a very brief conversation, nothing crazy. But she did tell me that she started dating again, and honestly, I was really surprised about that. So
Yeah, that I can definitely see how that would be surprising news for you to hear, especially with it being so soon afterwards. Um, yeah, I mean that sounds like it would be shocking news for you to hear. How did this news like impact you, or how did you react to this, hearing this?
yeah, not the greatest, really. Like I said, I was just really surprised that she's moved on already. It's only been 6 months, and I I guess she's like hinting towards me like moving on as well. It's just that's not something that I really want to do right now. I really just want to focus on Amy. I know that I haven't really been like giving like quality time with her. With everything that's been going on, I just feel like um, Amy's been staying with me full time, but it's just she's just like there.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's all very understandable, and it's common for you to still not be ready to move on, especially so suddenly. So don't beat yourself up about not having the same feelings as Sarah at the moment. But I'm glad that you're like doing all that you can right now and focusing on Amy because Amy does need you in this moment. So it's I admire how strong you've been like for her. Um, so like I think a good way to like move on or try to like work towards moving on would be to spend more time with Amy, like you said, and maybe get some quality time with Amy. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I'd love to see that happen. Really, it's just there's not. I feel like there are not that many things that we can do right now, especially with like the financial situation. Um, when Sarah and I were together, I remember like we'd all go out to eat ice cream or all go to the movies or something, and that's just not something we can really afford right now.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
No, yeah, that, and I think we can work on that with our next objective, like getting you a job. So, the last time we met, you mentioned that you had been laid off from Knight Electric. What do you think the reason was for you getting laid off, and have you been searching for any other jobs?
Yeah, so they told me I got laid off because I wasn't showing up to work, and when I was, I wasn't working to my true potential or full potential. Um, it I don't know, like I would go to work and I didn't want to be there. I think that has a lot to do with Sarah,
Hmm.
because her friends also work there, and so it was awkward. I didn't really want to be there. And so like there would be some days where I would just stay home, spend some time with Amy. Not really. Really, I would just like stay in my room, like watch a movie or play video games or something.
Yeah, and I do think that comes a lot from where you've been dealing with this divorce and dealing with all the stressful situations that you've been having to go through. So I can see where that like took a fall on your work. So have you been looking for other jobs or maybe like another electrician job anywhere?
Yeah, so I was thinking about working at Lark Electric Company. One of my really good friends, he works there. We went to school together, and see, he told me I could get a job there pretty easily. I meet the same requirements, and I also have the work experience that's needed.
Hmm.
So I feel like I'd really have like a good chance of working there.
Well, that sounds like a great strength in this situation. So, like with this new job at Lark Electric, this friend that you have, so does this friend do the same type of work that you are used to, like, or the work that you did at Knight Electric? Like, would you two be doing the same type of jobs?
Yeah, we would. I would probably work like longer hours than him because I'd be like the new employee. So I'd have to work the longest hours. But other than that, we're working the same job. We're both electrical engineers. Um, we actually like we did go to school together. We took the same classes, graduated at the same time, all of that. So we'd be working together for the most part.
Well, that sounds amazing. That sounds like a great strength for the situation. So in the event that you are able to get hired, have you thought about like how that would affect like being able to watch Amy or like how you would be able to deal with being at work with her not being in school or
Mhm.
like possible daycare like options?
Yeah, I thought about daycare. Really, I thought more about a babysitter because I think it's a little cheaper. Um, I don't really know. Right now, it's hard to be able to afford either one, especially because Sarah was the one that dealt with like all the budgeting and financial like aspect,
Hmm.
and that's not something I'm really good at or understand. So once I get this job, I'd like to see like Well, definitely, Amy will need like a babysitter of some sort. I just don't know how I'd be able to afford it, even with a job.
Yeah, daycare can be very, very expensive. So I can see how that would be a concern of yours right now. Like with what you said about not really like knowing what to do with budgeting or like financial aspects. There are some great tools that I can refer you to, some classes or like forums, some like just sessions that you could go and like learn about like how to finance like budget your money and be better with your finances. Does this sound like something like that you'd be open to like
Yeah.
learning about?
Definitely.
All right. So with that, like you could also like for childcare or daycare. I was thinking about the possibility. I don't know if this would be viable for your situation, but if your parents could possibly offer you any help or assistance in any way.
Yeah, I've thought about it. I really haven't called them or anything. They don't even know that Sarah and I are divorced. Um, it's I've talked to them recently, but I just acted like everything was normal. I don't really want to disappoint them. So letting them know that Sarah and I are divorced and that I need a babysitter, I feel like that's just going to put more stress on me, and even possibly Amy, and I just don't want that for either one of us.
Yeah. If you feel like that this will cause them or you in this situation any more stress, then I'd say go with what you feel would be best, because like if your parents aren't going to be able to look past that, and like if that's going to cause you any more stress, then it's not going to be better for you in the long run. So let's just stick with those budgeting classes, and I'll get you more information on those for the time being. Um, so, like with your goals at the moment that we have you handling like the symptoms of your depression that we've been seeing, and possibly getting set up with a therapist after I get you more information, and possibly go and meet with him or her. Um, After that, we can start looking towards getting you applied at Lark. And you mentioned that you'd be having to work longer hours or um, something of that nature with Lark. So, is there any other like backup plans that you would be interested in, or other jobs that you might want to look for?
Yeah, I thought about it. I really don't want to work those long hours, especially because I really don't feel like the pay that I'll be getting will equal out to the amount of like having a babysitter for a longer time. And so I haven't really thought about other jobs. I really think I should, but I don't. I don't know.
Well, if you're looking for information on other jobs, I can get in contact with some other agencies that would like get you in touch with other electrician companies, since you do have that like experience with being an electrician and electrical engineer and having school in your background. That opens up a lot of opportunities for you for work. So don't feel like you're limited to just Lark. But I think the opportunity that you have at Lark with your friend being there is a great opportunity. But I will be able to get you more information for other jobs and opportunities. So after that, we have um, either talking to your parents with Amy about watching Amy, or getting you your information on budgeting. That way, we can possibly get you a babysitter or some daycare for Amy. So, do you have any questions about these goals, or about the order that we should work them in? Maybe like getting a job first, then working with a therapist, or getting daycare solved out. Like, what order would you like to work these in?
Yeah. Really, I think I'd rather. I want to focus on finding a job 1st. I think that'll also help me get my mind off of Sarah. And then, yeah, I really want to focus on getting a job first.
All right, then if your main focus right now is getting a job, then I'd say that should be our main focus for you right now. So we will definitely pick up from there. For the time being, I'd say that we should probably shoot for another meeting sometime next month, or sometime like in the remaining month. Is there any specific day that would work best for you?
Yeah. I can't really meet anytime next week, but 2 weeks from now should be okay. Really, 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks.
All right, yeah. Any of those times you are available will work with me. In the time until then, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. You have my number, or you can contact the agency, and they will get in contact with me.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds great.
Thank you.